Today I'm going to be testing these 4 scales that I got on Amazon. I'm going to be putting them through multiple tests. I'm going to test them with 5-gallon buckets of water. I'm going to test them with some 10-pound weights. I'm going to test them against each other. We're going to go through about 8 different categories that I've separated them into, and I'm going to tell you which ones I think are the best and if cheap scales from Amazon are worth it. So stick around. For the first test, we're going to be testing the 5-gallon buckets of water. We're going to use the Cast King to get a weight of all 3 buckets and try to get them about the same. All right, they're all in pounds. They're all zeroed out. Zeroed out. Zeroed out. Zeroed out. All right. Let's see if we can get them on there. And hopefully the zip ties will hold. Okay. All right, we got 42.94, 43.76, and 43.43. So they're pretty close. Now for the H2O, it doesn't have a hanger, so I'm gonna have to hold that one. Will it lock? I don't know if this one locks or not. For the next test, I've got a very sophisticated 2x8 on the ground with a ratchet strap wrapped around it so I can put equal pressure on both scales. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna crank them about 3 or 4 times. And they should be about the same, right? We got 24.49, 24.51. Okay. Pretty close. All right. Can you read it? 56.57, 55.64. All right, so the Cast King has a 65-pound rating. This one has a 110-pound rating. Let me zero it out. The Maya, I have no idea how you pronounce that. Zero it out. We're going to try this again. We're going to try to keep it. All right, Maya's locked in at 60.08. Cast King is locked in at 59.88. They are so close. Okay, so because the H2O doesn't allow me to, oh, there's no hook, so I can't hook it on this rig that I've got made up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook the Maya up. All right, then I'm gonna hook Cast King to that one, and I'm gonna count on the camera to tell us what we're reading here. All right, so for the H2O, I'm gonna turn it on for y'all and let you see it. But turn it on, flashes a couple times until it's clear. Now if you hold it down, that will turn the light on. All right, this is a 10-pound weight. If I'm right, this one doesn't lock. So Maya, one click, zeroed out, ready to go. On pounds. Wow. All right. I mean, 9.98. That's pretty accurate. All right, for the Cast King, hold it down. I think that means the battery's high, so we're good there. Zeroed out on pounds. It beeped. So it locked in. 10.01. And my favorite, dude, this thing is so tiny. Like, this thing is so small. I wonder how accurate it is, though. All right. You hold it down, it turns right on. I didn't show you that part, sorry. You can't only get 2 fingers in it, but you would hold this thing sideways anyways. All right, locked in, 9.96. So you got your lock on there. Now on the Maya, you're locked in still. Just hit it one time. Oh. It's ready to go again. The H2O doesn't lock. I mean, it might. It has a memory. So the H2O has a memory. Apparently any button will turn the thing on. And the memory has been erased now. Cast King. Hit the middle button one time. It's ready to go for another one. And its memory. The way it works is you have to hit save. If you hit that save button, it will save it. On this one, that was the last weight before that, and then back. So they all have memories. The H2O has a memory, but it didn't save anything. So, and it doesn't have a save button. So I'm not quite sure about that. All right, so going through each one of them, we'll make this quick. The Maya is 110 pound. The H2O is 65 pound. The miniature Calamus is a 50 pound, and the Cast King is a 65 pound. As far as being like easiest to use, if you just grab it out of your tackle box in a hurry, you're holding a big fish, the miniature Maya is the easiest. I mean, you hit this button and it's zeroed out like immediately, and you can just, I mean, as soon as you, it's very, very simple. One touch. Second would be the Maya. It's also one touch. It takes a little bit longer, but it's ready to go already. And to turn it back off, it's just one button. It's super easy. The Cast King is not that bad. You just turn it on. But as far as working it, it has too many settings. And so it makes it, I would label it tricky. The H2O is rather complicated, to be honest. Like, it turns on, this button will turn the light on sometimes, other times it won't. It did just a minute ago, so it's a little bit tricky. As far as like handles go, like my favorite is this one. So I would hold it like this right here if I was weighing a fish. Just hold it like that. You could easily weigh a fish. The handles don't mean that much to me. Probably the Cast King would be number 2 because you can hold it almost the same way. H2O would be 3. You can hold it like that. Maya would be 4. This is pretty, I mean, unless you were like holding it for a camera or something like that out in front of you, or you needed to hang it, I guess. This thing has a 110-pound rating, and it did hold it, but this thing is pretty weak. I don't know that I would want to do that too often. Being fast, the Maya is the fastest. It turns on, it turns off immediately. One touch tears out immediately for the next fish, or it zeroes it because it locks in, so it'll immediately be ready for the next one. The Calamus would be 2, Cast King would be 3, H2O would be 4, being in terms of speed. All 3 of them have a light. As soon as you push a button on any of them, the lights will come on, except for the H2O. It does have a light option, but I mean, I have figured out that, okay, see, I don't know what just happened there. So I'm not really 100% sure about that, but it does have a light option, so that counts. Batteries. So the Maya takes 2 AAA. That's fine. That's fine. Everybody has AAAs. The Cast King takes a 9-volt. I mean, I had to order a 9-volt because I don't have 9 volts laying around, so that's not awesome. And seeing as it doesn't turn off automatically, you know, that could be a problem. Both of these rechargeable, USB-C. That's awesome. This one has a much bigger battery, but I mean, this one claims 5 hours even if it's on. Accuracy, all the tests combined, the Cast King is the most accurate. It was tied. It was tied neck and neck. These two here were the most accurate. I mean, down to like very, very close. At 10 pounds, this one was 9.98. 10 pounds, this one was 10.001. And then this one would be third for accuracy. The H2O was a pound off at 10 pounds. So your 10-pound bass was actually reading 9 pounds, and that would be terrible. That'd be terrible. If you had a 10-pound, you had a double-digit fish, and it told you it was a 9-pound. Nah, that ain't gonna work for me. All right, back to the batteries. The Cast King does not turn off. This is actually my dad's scale. I borrowed it. He doesn't know that I borrowed it. It was dead when I took it out of the tackle box, and I know why, because it doesn't turn off. I turned it on, left it sitting here. All of them turned off. This one did not turn off. So this one was still on like 30 minutes later, and that is why it was dead. Then I tested it afterwards. All of these turn off in less than a minute. So if they're not used in less than a minute, they turn off. So that's a big deal, because how many times has your scale been dead? Probably because you left it on. I mean, you weigh a fish real quick, you get your picture, you talk about it, whatever, and then you put your fish back and you put the scale down. You don't even think about turning it off. So I mean, that's a big thing for me. As far as my favorite, this one really is my favorite. It's so small. I had no idea it was going to be this small. Like, the pictures did not depict it being small. The box that it came in does say mini fishing scale. It did not say that on the Amazon listing. So, but I actually like it a lot. This thing is tiny, and I could see it. It can fit in a tackle box so easy. Maybe it's not a DNR registered scale, but 9.96 pounds from 10 pounds, that's pretty accurate. All right, so for pricing, $7.99, or I'm sorry, $6.99. So pretty good scale. I would recommend it. It's a little cheaper feeling than the rest of them, but very accurate for a $7 scale. This one was $18.39. So it's one of these new You can hold it up and look at it. That's cool and everything, but it's a pound off at 10 pounds. Your 10 pounder is only 9 pounds, and that's a deal breaker for me. And the 9-volt battery, and it doesn't turn off. So that's a deal breaker for me. This one's my favorite by far. It's super easy to hold. It's super small. It can fit everywhere. 9.96 pounds off of 10 pounds. That's pretty close. This one's only $6.99 as well. $7 gets you a pretty good scale. This one is a $10.39. The Cast King. This is the slim model. They make a lot of them, but I mean, this is a good scale too. It's a little bit trickier to use because it has a lot more, I guess, settings, and they just didn't make it super easy to work. I don't know. They feel like with scales, they just want to put as little buttons on them as possible. And if it's going to have 50 modes, it probably should have at least 4 or 5 buttons. So if I was going to recommend one, it would be this one. My second choice would be this one. The Cast King is going to be a good scale too. Technically the most accurate, but we're talking about 9.96 versus 10.01. That's pretty close. And this is 9.98 off of 10 pounds. So they're all 3 of these pretty good scales. This one, Academy can just keep that one. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped. I mean, I don't know, I just had the idea and was like, I had a scale, it wasn't accurate at all, and I had a couple scales actually. I had the Rapala that everyone gets at Walmart, and it kept dying on me for some reason. Like, it turns off, but every time I pull it out of my bag, it was dead. I don't know if it's phantom power or what. I had I don't remember what brand it was. I had another one from Walmart as well. And both of them were like 30 bucks. And both of those scales they were dead every time that I needed them. And so I was like, I'm gonna get a cheap scale off Amazon. So I decided to buy a scale, and actually was gonna get this one. I did not know it was this small, of course, but it was just $7. I'm like, I'm gonna try a $7 scale, see what it's like. Then I seen the other ones, and I'm like, I'm just gonna test all of them. So here you go. I hope it helps. And there's my 2 choices right there. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching. If you're not already, subscribe, and think about liking the video if you liked it. Thanks so much, y'all.